Okay, I finally, after like 20 minutes, gotten this as dissolved as I'm convinced it is going to dissolve. So I've got it good and stirred up here, and we're gonna transfer half of it, or about half. That looks pretty close. Here into test tube 7. All right. Cool. So let's take these 2 test tubes on back and run some other tests. All right, let me go grab my procedure. All right. So now we're going to add 1 milliliter of water and 1 milliliter of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. Distilled water. So here we still have test tube 2. Now, oh no, we've already done that. Sorry, that was step 15. We're ready for step 16. Test for manganese. Add 1 milliliter of nitric acid to test tube 7. So test tube 7, nitric acid. Here it is. Let's add 1 milliliter. All right. Mix and add a very small scoop of solid sodium bismuthate. That's a fun word to say. Bismuthate. Sodium bismuthate. Okay. So here is my small scoop. Small scoop. Here we go. Ooh! Look at that. All right. All right, so now it says there should be an excess. I better put a little bit more in there. It looks like I think there's some at the bottom, but just to be sure, because it says there should be an excess. Okay, now I know for sure there's an excess. All right, so let's go. Centrifuge this and see what happens. So here we go. This is very pretty. I like this. One of my favorite colors that we've done for qualitative analysis so far. I love qualitative analysis. You get to make pretty colors. All right, so let's centrifuge this. And if the supernatant fluid is a color, there's the precipitate. Here's this. Hopefully you can tell what color it is. All right. Let's go back. We are now done with test tube 7. Put it back where we're done with it. All right. Now it says take test tube 2 to a fume hood. We're going to add a small scoop of solid potassium nitrite. So let me get a scoop. All right, make make sure that's all I need to do. Test tube, 2 with water. Okay, so here we're testing for cobalt. I'm going to add solid potassium nitrite, and we're looking for a yellow precipitate. Let's see what happens. Here we are. We're over the hood. Fumes are toxic, but you can see what happened. So it says if a yellow precipitate formed, most of the yellow is actually up here. There's a little bit of yellow down there. This one wasn't as beautiful as I was hoping it would be, but all right, so we're done with test tube 2. Now we need to find test tube 6. Test tube 6. And we need to make sure that it's basic. So let's add some ammonia. So ammonia, pH strip. Ooh, look at that. Sorry, I'm done with that. Give that some time to... Something happened. Let's give it a little bit of time to see if it's basic. Nope, not yet. Ooh, more stuff happened. Okay. See if my litmus paper stays blue. Yep, basic. All right, so now we gotta stir it up as we have been doing. All right, now let's centrifuge it, and then we're gonna transfer it to test tube 8. So let's take our test tube rack back over to the centrifuge. Here's our test tube 6. Send it in the centrifuge. All right, now we need to be ready tube 8. What color is this in test tube 8? I believe we're going to call that very blue. Now, next, I am going to do the optional step 19 for the second test of copper because I want to show you what it looks like. All right, so here is our very blue. We're going to add some acetic acid. Here, acetic acid, and we're going to add this until it's not blue anymore. Still a little blue. There we go, not blue anymore. All right, so we're done with acetic acid, and now we want to add this next one, that is a fun thing to say. It's potassium hexacyanoferronate, and let's add how much? 2 drops. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we got the precipitate. All right, so that was the test for copper. Let's move on to our next test.